think I'm going to have a stroke. Hang in there. Nice pass. Have we got the teams? Yes, I'm good. I'm so sorry.
If you can read them all right, that's it.
Are we rolling? I've got the two cards here. If you want to just pick off.
Just use it. If you can read them, can you read them already?
21 choose 5, so take this down. And a very good afternoon, FA coverage of round 3 of the NPL here in Victoria. We're just on the ball. I've really got to compose myself. A long bounce. This is exciting. This is the only game of Sunday. I'm glad I got in the door. And just a toe tap away by McGrath. George, you've been here. You're looking a lot better than I am right now. It's St Albans against the Melbourne Knights, and please forgive me, I really had to rush up here. I did what many call exercise. We're still inside the opening 2 minutes, and Dynamo on the attack. The ball just bobbled across the 6-yard box and out of play. And George, you have been around the game for as long as I have. Thank you for joining me in commentary this afternoon. There's a real buzz around the place, isn't there?
Thanks, Greg. Great to be here with you and tick off another one of soccer's experience of calling with you. There is a buzz and there's a good crowd. Probably roughly 1,000 to 1,200 people in here, which is terrific, and it probably will get even bigger. So we'll give you a chance to catch your breath and compose yourself. Nothing, you won't miss any action. The camera's rolling, the mic's going, and we'll be all over it. How are you going there, Greg? Are you nearly ready to call? As good as gold.
I'll tell you what, I have seen some games in recent weeks. I've had my money's worth in the NPL this season in Victoria. I've seen the last 4 games I've called, all been big comeback games. There's been 5 send-offs. So I'm hoping that this one to cap off round 3, where the Melbourne Knights can in fact reclaim top spot on the NPL ladder with a victory here against their sister club, if you will. And these two clubs amongst each other have produced some huge talent over the years. Another corner on the social club side, belted away more by good luck than good management, and then the rocket ship into the sky from Saints. They're still pouring into the ground, which is fantastic. This is good for the game. It's a lovely little compact place. I haven't been here for a long time, to be honest with you. And I've also got to send a shout out to Nick. He knows who he is. He got me on the on the Google Maps. I think I was going in the wrong direction. I was heading towards Bendigo or something. So it's going to be a restart. Long high ball. Great aerial duel. Very physical.
Jordan Wilkes.
Yes. Air Jordan. Well, he was back in the old HUFC TV days. So the interesting one, George Katsanis, is we've only had out of the 20 games completed in the NPL this season, only 3 home teams have won all year, if you include Hume in that last night.
Oh, wow. Topsy-turvy then.
So Melbourne Knights said fancy their chances statistically. Manist launches one. The half field. And my refereeing friend Alessandro's here as well. Hopefully he's on the clock for us this afternoon as well. Well, they're pressuring, aren't they, in the early going?
Yeah, as the teams tried to settle down, it looks like St Albans have got a little bit of ascendancy, but as yet there's been no real goal-mouth action. Sides still sussing each other out. Although that's a nice ball there, cut out by the Knights defence.
It's been a really enterprising opening by Dynamo, St Albans, the home side. Good stuff going, good gear going. You're a really good man to join us. We don't know. No. And the Knights player's caught one. He's down. Referee's going to let it go on. Bryce goes to midfield. It's a mad scramble. Saints come up with it again. Pushed forward. 9-9. Duzel is a part of his teammate. Mikulich goes to ground. Oh, I think I got my breath back. I think I need to go on a diet. No score here at St Albans to round out round 3 of the competition. Plenty on the line for the Melbourne Knights. They want to reclaim a top spot on the ladder. It's been a while, isn't it? Interesting as Knights clear it. It's a bouncer straight into St Albans territory. It just sort of loops out of play. You just think about the Melbourne Knights. We're watching them here this afternoon. They have conquered mountains over the journey. They've been national champions, national premiers. They've been state league champions. They've got a resume as long as your arm. A very proud club. It's been a while between drinks. They'd love to snare a championship in Victoria in 2021. There's the skipper on the ball. Hayden Bryce, he just goes short, very measured. Ball back for goalkeeper, Manus. I've got the cameraman. He's given me Jerry too as well. I'll tell you what, hasn't been my day. Zurich thriller last night. I've seen a few actually in recent weeks, as I mentioned. Hopefully more of the same. Early going at St Albans this afternoon. And they're still coming in, the turnstiles. It's a beautiful afternoon. Just overwhelmed and then, wasn't he, Samaro? Jimmo come clear. They looked really good early, St Albans. Got beaten here, got rolled here by Green Gully on opening day, or opening weekend.
Yeah, I was here.
Melbourne Knights again. They're going to recalibrate and come from the back. Slowly, patiently. McGarry. And again, take 2, take 3. Smaro. Well, they're playing the footy around, getting plenty of passes, getting plenty of stats. Long, high ball. Just skids into the pass of the goalkeeper. Shane Vitakangas, as I live and breathe. Former Altona Magic champion. Flag stays down, or no, it doesn't. What'd you read, George Casares, in this early going?
It's still a bit slow at the moment. I think they're still sussing each other out. But like you mentioned earlier, Greg, St Albans are looking to be the asserters, and they're trying to assert themselves on the game early and not take a backward step. So I'm expecting it to be an open attacking game once the sides settle down.
Kangas just waits. I reckon the breeze is probably favouring Saints in this first half. Blowing to the right of screen in the blue with the white shorts. Oh, everything's just blown away again. How well am I going? That's all right. No. I think my composure's returning. Saints. A throw in. They've been really good early. Throw in deep, left lane, Social Club launches it. It's actually a really beaut day for footy. The pitch looks good as well. The swing away. St Albans will come again. They're certainly up for the battle. Samara. He's got to go alone outside left. They come at him. He does well. Holds the footy. The troops for St Albans coming. Well, I do wonder what would have happened if I'd have kept heading the other way. George may never have been seen again. It may be a good thing. St Albans throw. There's no real chances yet. Saints measured. Pressure coming from St Albans consistently. Nice. Move it out for the back. And again, they go around the Cape. Skipper goes long, but again, it just breaks down. Speculative ball, the runner for St Albans. He's all on his own. He'll have to do it on his own as well. Square ball, great shot into the midriff from Macaulay, and the goalkeeper was where he needed to be and did the job he needed to do. So Saints threaten again, but it stays scoreless on this final game of round 3 of the NPL in Victoria. We'll talk about some of the upsets over the weekend. And again, Melbourne Knights manoeuvre it into the front third. That was Webb. But it's a St Albans ball. They've owned the contest so far, George.
Yeah, they're set up pretty well, and defensively they're not giving much away. But as we saw on that break there down the left, good ball in by Monac to Macaulay, but unfortunately he couldn't place his shot. He hit it straight at the keeper, which is probably a very good opportunity, and you hope they get more after that. But here comes Bradley Murray through the midfield.
You're all over the call then, George. Well done. Stretching the hammies was Mohamed Samara, but he couldn't reach, and it's going to be St Albans again with the throw and possession again. Probably the only chance of the game a couple of moments ago. It's a really measured struggle so far, these sister clubs. I love looking through the team sheets as well. Some really famous names there from days of yore. Well, that was wasted. Flag was up anyway. Well, I wouldn't mind a goal to spark things up. Saw Avondale come from behind in round 1 to beat Oakley.
Yeah.
Saw the Warriors come from behind against Oakley again last weekend. Altona Magic came from 2 down against Avondale last weekend. Warriors 2 down against Altona Magic last night. Wouldn't mind some more of that this afternoon. St Albans ball. Spins, it's difficult, isn't it? In the end, the goalkeeper just had to take a step back and let it come to him. It was always going to be a bit of a gamble. What a great win, almost, by the high leaping Joey Warwick, and out of play.
And then, just quietly, bad riding Monac.
That's what I said, wasn't it? Oh, man, what a day. Scoreless here at St Albans, and really, really boisterous crowd in. They're enjoying the afternoon. One of the features of this year, George Katsanos, has simply been watching people gather together and bond again over the great game of football after the lockdowns and the season that wasn't. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing more smiling faces and happy people around the place. And it's been a really, really good, positive start to the season in that respect.
Absolutely. We all missed our football here in Victoria, Greg. I know I've come from another game earlier today down at Avondale, an under-21s game, so we can't get enough of it at the moment. And the good weather, the smiling faces, and decent crowd in here, that's what we want to see, isn't it?
Decent crowd and a real hum. It's a lovely little boutique stadium down here in St Albans. Lumbering run by Oda. They're going to turn it over again. That was a cheap turnover. And I reckon that was offside by the length of the Flemington straight, or maybe not. They played on the slide tackle in the end. Doesn't matter. That was Glavin with the relief for the Melbourne Knights. They haven't got a clock, George, so it's just guessing, like everything else. I might defer to Alessandro over there. He's the most helpful referee in the business, or referee. So it's going to be St Albans again, they threaten, into the front third. I reckon it's McWigan out there, coming from that wide angle. He stands over the footy. Saints won 7 in a row here before, or 7 wins and 1 draw before round 1 of this season, so good record. The square ball was skewed, it lofted high. Saints come again, no. Dynamo. It's the Melbourne Knights and scampering back. Was Desic. You are a little beauty. I'm going to give you a hug because without you today, it would have all gone south. 16 minutes away. George Katsanis and Blakey here at St Albans this afternoon. Samaro through traffic. Square ball for his skipper who looks around, radar eyes. Melbourne Knights. Patient again, move into the front half. Mast went short. There's another famous name. These two clubs, Melbourne Knights in particular, they were, they were churning Socceroos out and internationals out throughout the 90s. An unbelievable track record with them and, of course, Sydney Croatia as well. It's 0-0. We've played around about 18 minutes in this first half. FV coverage. Round 3 of the season. And it's been another rip around for the Kangas. They just ease it away. This is an accomplished performance thus far by St Albans Dynamo, but you really hope they might get something on the scoreboard. Turnover. Melbourne Knights might get the chance for the first time. Charge down, well played. Murray away, steams away, streams away, traverses the half line, runs to receive, gets a slightest of elbows, and Melbourne Knights will turn it over. Exciting stuff. Melbourne Knights over half-field. McGarry outside of the right boot and turned away, belted away by Ed Jordan Wilkes. He's a beauty. I think Chris Dibbs here as well. A couple of former Heidelberg players. So it's going to be a Melbourne Knights ball. The sun just starting to peek through, which is good news because you're dressed for the occasion. I'm not. I've had a dreadful day. Oh dear, but I'm here, and I'm here with George Katsanis, and I'm here watching a really engrossing struggle between the sister clubs, St Albans, Melbourne Knights, and it's scoreless. Melbourne Knights finally starting to find their feet somewhat. Come again, that was the skipper again. He's like a quarterback, isn't he?
Aiden Bryce, yeah.
Aiden Bryce, he's pretty smooth. Again, the ball turned over. The ball jettisons upfield. It's Macaulay again. Square ball, toe tap, loose. And the Melbourne Knights just lucky that they had one or two waiting on the periphery of the 6-yard box. So St Albans threaten again. But again, was scoreless. Well, he drew the free kick and theatrical fashion. Tony Award, I reckon, nomination.
Well, there we had St Albans on the break again down the left. This time the roles are reversed. Macaulay was a supplier and Monek received the cross in, but just couldn't get the ball out from under his feet to muster up a shot on target. He just got really tangled there. So that's another good opportunity that they've built up on through the left-hand side, but without any success yet.
George Katsanis, who just about everybody knows you, mate, for all the hard work you've done, particularly in the media. In the media over the last few years. Fantastic stuff. So it's a very very comfortable afternoon for footy. Very little wind to speak of. A little bit of sunshine. No score yet, but it's quite a game of brewing, I suspect. Foot race is on. It's going to be one. Oh, no, I reckon they hit the line at the same time and Albano hit the deck. So it's a Melbourne Knights ball. I reckon even the crowd sort of anticipating something. It's waiting for something to spark it up, a goal to spark it up to get the scoreboard rolling on this Sunday afternoon. So it's a free kick coming in. Giselle from, there's another name. Giselle coming in from wide, right on that social club side. Measures it. Dangerous, right into the hot spot. Header into the sky. And Vitikangas just waited and then launched himself and grabbed it, clasped it to his chest, then bombs it long. Had to stretch his back, had to arch his back, the defender of it. Dinamo will come again, flag didn't go up. They'll keep the possession. No, they won't. That was a cheap giveaway. Giselle through midfield. This bloke, Samaro, has been really busy. Bouncer into the penalty area and bombed away. Much more pleasant conditions today than there was yesterday in the NPL, where it was torrential rain and high winds. Melbourne Knights again. Well, they're patient enough.
Yeah, they have been prepared to wait and tried to pick the ball at the right time, the Knights. There doesn't seem to be any forcing of it. They're prepared to play through the midfield, and when the long ball is on, they're prepared to go over the top, as they just tried to Webb a couple of minutes ago. So they're looking good, the Knights. They're composed.
We've got a barn burner brewing. I've got no doubt about it, George. These two clubs, there's no love lost, but they have a great affinity for each other as well. But that's what you love about it. They're both competitive this season. Melbourne Knights can go back top. St Albans can claw their way into the top six. With a W here this afternoon at St Albans. I'm never going to forget how to get here, I can tell you. Oh dear. Throw in Melbourne Knights, starting to win a little bit more of the footy. George Katsanis and yours truly, Greg Blake, on deck for FV. They're going to win the footy back. That was just determination. Giselle. Samara, he's good. He's all right. He's been everywhere, this bloke. Tried to hook it round the corner. Took a bobble. He'll get it back. No, he's hungry and he's up for it. He's all right, this bloke. So Melbourne Knights start from the back half again. The skipper was a little bit unbalanced for just a moment. Hits the right lane. Knights on the attack again. Top of the penalty area. Dancing around the tackles was Mikelic, and the ball reefed loose. St Albans tried charging it at the other end. Ambitious ball forward. Doesn't sit in the breeze, and Melbourne Knights will turn it over. I think knife's edge stuff right now. I reckon 6 of one, half a dozen the other. George, as the Knights now really warming to the contest. They're enjoying it. Albano, outside, inside, outside is his choice. Square ball. Saints have the football back though. Hello, boys. got a crew up here. We've got a crowd up here, George.
Fan club.
And the skipper again. Goes straight up Route 1. And Giselle was scragged and pulled and dragged and finally earned the free kick. Got a good angle on this. Sorry, George.
There's a cheap free kick to give away in this position, so for St Albans, hopefully they don't suffer any ill consequence from it. Giselle looks like he's going to go for the far post here.
He's a big rangy looker, Giselle, as he waits. 3-step run up, I reckon. And he'll at a far post. It was dangerous, but angled away was the header from Chris Stibb, I think it was. And now the Melbourne Knights starting to own the contest to some degree anyway. Samaro again, far post cross. He tried the hook, he came up with all the air, did Albano, sat on his backside. Dynamo can't break away this time. And we get a time call, George. You've done everything for me today. I think I'll probably owe you some money or some.
26 minutes, Greg.
You're a little beauty. 26 gone, George Katsanis, who held firm while all around fell. We've got a scoreless game at St Albans this afternoon, but it's all right. It's competitive, that's for sure. Long one. Albano thunders after it. Left foot cross, far post goal. A beauty. 27 minutes played. And Caleb Mikulik on 27 gets the go ahead. And the Melbourne Knights, well, they moved and they walked and they finally engineered their way into the contest. Now it's got a pay off on the scoreboard. Mikulik on 27. Good goal. Great goal.
Yeah, turnover by St Albans just here in front of us, Greg, and the long through ball to Albano, setting past the defence, had a glance up, knocked in a very, very good left foot cross to the far post, took out the defenders both near and in the middle of the defence, and Mikulic had only the job to tap it in, and he took it well. Very good goal, very quick transition, well done.
It was clinical, wasn't it? Lethal in the end. And it only takes a chance like that. St Albans have been knocking at the door in the early going, but the Melbourne Knights, let's say the bigger brother or the bigger sister in this relationship between the two Croatian clubs, is, well, we'll be having none of that and go whackety-whacking on 27. Melbourne Knights are up by 1. Game on, my friend. Defensively good stuff from Glavin then, and he hits the deck. So, but having said that, my friend, I've seen comebacks in 4 of my last 4, so I'm not calling this one too early. Melbourne Knights up by 1. The skipper has to lurch away after that one. Hayden Bryce. Got some tall timber out there, Melbourne Knights.
Another ball on the field there, Greg. Over there.
Well, we're not going to go shy of a ball then, which is good news. It was absolutely pelting down last night at Paisley Park for the Altona Magic game. I'm so glad that the weather conditions have improved markedly here in Melbourne. It's the only, well, we're the game of the round. It's the only game of the day, George. So, oh dear, oh dear. Now, the skipper's running for it, but he knew he was in a contest. He could see out the corner of his eye was St Albans number 11, Monac. It's going to be a throw-in to Saints. Is this a strike back time? They probably deserve one, don't they? Blue tops, white shorts, blue stockings for St Albans, and Melbourne Knights in their away garb this afternoon. Well, there's a bit of shrugging and tugging there, but nothing called. Long bomb, bouncer. Don't dwell on it, young fella.
Jordan.
That was that Jordan again? It was too. Yeah, Jordan, of course, he's the captain here, isn't he? Good on him. Turned over. Hodor goes upfield. Hodor again. He's covered that time. He's corralled almost. They're going to lose about 15 metres. Here they go. And they'll earn the footy from the sideline. Lofted. Ball by McGuigan. Very deep. It's going to be a corner. St Albans. So as they did in the first 15 or 20 minutes, they've threatened to some degree, but the Melbourne Knights lead it. Goal on 27, Caleb Mikulik for the Melbourne Knights. Left foot corner, dangerous ball, bobbles, bounces, chance, pummeled away. And they'll have another shot. Far post, great leap by the goalkeeper. Great leap by the goalkeeper. Manos. Spectacular stuff. Under the sunshine. In round 3 of the NPL here in Victoria. And it's a 1-0 game. NPL this year, here in Victoria, has been absolutely electrifying, George Katsanis.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. I've seen quite a few games, obviously in person and on the beautiful Google YouTube that you call. Even today I saw another exciting game. But I think the fact that everyone missed their football, it just seems to be more exciting. There's more venom, there's more everything put into it. Clubs have missed their football, and so have the players, haven't they?
Absolutely. Look, all round, I can't recall, and I'm quite serious about it. I've been around the game for a long time, you know that, but it's just been such a pleasant feel about the games this year. There's no acrimony between supporters. You know, the players are hungry and ready to go, and look, I've enjoyed this thoroughly.
Yeah, I'm certainly enjoying my football, and like I said, we've all missed it, and we've been hungry for it, but it's been enjoyable, absolutely enjoyable to watch.
We're edging in toward the last 10 minutes of this first half. It's been a bit of an arm wrestle, but Melbourne Knights lead it. They'll be happy about that. They're on the scoreboard. I'm not sure that was intentional. Just the up and under reverse. It's going to be a St Albans ball. They're down by 1. Anthony Desic will go short. With support. Had to go against 2 was McGuigan, and he'll get the corner as well. Well, hasn't taken the wind out of their sails, Saints. I reckon an equaliser before half-time would be as deserved as any. Melbourne Knights currently on this scoreline, back at the top of the ladder. Difficult for the goalkeeper, had to come. Double fist away. Oh, that just went whizzing, didn't it? From wanting over the bar, it would look dangerous. It just didn't sit for him.
Knights didn't clear the corner too well, straight up to the edge of the box, and Monac was waiting, didn't waste any time, getting it on his left, and he looked comfortable, and he hit it well, but it just wouldn't come down. He just didn't get over the top of it as best as he could, but it was a great opportunity, and another one, and unfortunately for St Albans, there's nothing to show for it.
Upsets are plenty, comebacks are plenty in the NPL here in Victoria this season. So expect the unexpected. A lot of footy to come in this one. Only goal of the game on 27, Caleb Mikulik for the Melbourne Knights in a precision move by the Melbourne Knights, really, to get the only goal of the game so far. And there's some huge matches to come next weekend as well. We'll have a chat about those too later on. George Katsanis. Spinning out of trouble, and Dinamo on the charge, got the numbers. Left foot shot was awkward. Really, maybe he should have taken a little more time on that one. The big fella, McCauley, I think it was. It was an easy take by the goalkeeper.
Too easy. Again, they're causing him some danger down the left side there. Bradley Murray won the loose ball, fitted out to the left, another good cross, but they just, that composure when it comes into that area hasn't been there for St Albans, and they've had really, to be fair, those 3 good chances in that particular area from attacks on the left, and they just haven't taken their opportunities, Greg.
Albans, as you mentioned, beaten on opening day here. Samaro, and it skidded and was awkward then for Shane Vidakangas, but took it cleanly in the end. My word, I hope that cloud cover stays away. That sun is absolutely brilliant, or it was. What a picturesque, have a look, George. How can you not enjoy this? Look around the ground. Lots of happy faces, lots of good footy. St Albans, they've worked, they've strived, they've given themselves a half chance or two. But they're down by one. One of the vagaries of this beautiful game. And the skipper again doing the hard work, turned it round the body, down the right lane. Saints come again. They're not banging at the door, but they've knocked a few times, haven't they? Aiden Bryce knocks it long. Saints should collect it. Vidakangas. Cool. Back to the skipper. And they'll come again. Launching from the back third. Well, that was good stuff. Melbano, who created that that first goal, didn't he? He's actually earned the corner for the Melbourne Knights. So, thumb screws applied, and a corner as we check that time. I love you. I do, George Katsanis.
36 minutes, Greg.
36 minutes. At half time, I'm going to go and get you some lovely tucker from over at the social club. Anything I can do for you. You're a ripper.
Shavapi.
It's a corner. So Melbourne Knights are up by one. Spinning acrobatic header was successful to clear it. The Melbourne Knights will come up with it. Flag went up. Now explain that to me.
Clearance by the St Albans defender with the head, but the Knights guy tried to keep it in but didn't. But the last touch was off St Albans, Greg.
That was very good. Knights on the move. Jurkovic. And they will lose some meterage on that. The skipper, Aiden Bryce, again lumbers toward half field, keeps it on the deck. They've got the scoreboard outcome at the moment, the Melbourne Knights. That's a dangerous ball. A header was angled just a squillimetre wide of the far post. That was Giselle.
A lovely cross. Good build-up play again by the Knights. Cross from the right wing, the glancing header. Didn't miss by much, Greg. It's two slightly different styles. The Knights with the slow build-up and getting out to the wide men and knocking in some good crosses. The St Albans have looked at their most dangerous when they try and release it early and try and get behind the defences.
George Katsanis with all the match summary, doing an amazing job. An amazing man, actually, in terms of maintaining the history of the game in so many ways. I really enjoyed some of the stuff you've done. Well, most of it, actually.
Some of it.
No, well, mainly the stuff with me, obviously. Oh, dear. And off we go again. It's a 1-0 game into the depths of this first half. Aiden Bryce knocks one. It just sat and everybody kind of waited to see where it was going to go. Samaro says, no, look, I'm taking this one. Runs an arc and forced away. I really like that Melbourne Knights number 16. He's good.
Yep.
And he runs all day. Aiden Rice again for the Melbourne Knights. He's happy to keep the footy. It's a 7-eye, just sat really well. And the Melbourne Knights dangerous again. They're up by one. And it was he's got the chance from close in, but well, in the end he did all the hard work and then he just belted it over the woodwork.
Yeah, he was prepared to play the 1-2 on the edge of the box and be patient, but when it came back to him, he didn't really get it out from under his feet, and he was forced to snatch at it, and he had a bit more time than he thought, I'd imagine, but no, blew it. Good opportunity for Knights. But again, slow build-up play, which has been their operate. What is it, Greg? Operation.
I don't know. Don't drop me in it. Don't drop me in it. I was just having a think over the journey at Melbourne Knights. They're up by 1 this afternoon, but hasn't this club had an amazing storied history here in Victoria and on the national stage? Think of all those great moments, the grand final win in Adelaide, of course, in what was that, about 95?
Yep.
And the number of players that have come through, they're carrying on a heritage and a tradition, these boys. They're wearing the Knights tops this afternoon. Hayden Bryce. This knocks a lazy one. Missed the green by a couple of centimetres, but held the footy again. Toward half time. Into the shadows. We've got a tree lined in. There's a theory of mine. There's not a ground in the comp that doesn't have a tree line in. Just saying. Don't prove me wrong. Awkward bouncer. Well, you know, if you called the game now, you'd say Hayden Bryce has already had a shift. He's terrific, isn't he?
Yep. He's controlling it from the back. He's doing all he can to control it and it's slow build up, and it's all starting from him every time, isn't it?
No, it is indeed. Off we go again. Starting deep back left for the Melbourne Knights. They're up by 1 still. Oh. Well, that pass was just a little off target, and Monac just got the steal, and all of a sudden a chance for St Albans into the penalty area. He's got no support. Yes, he does have support. Square ball. And Hoda could have done a lot better than I would have thought. Their finishing hasn't been particularly adept.
No, I'm on repeat. They come down the left-hand side again. They seem to be able to cause a few problems from there. They had the ball at the edge of the box. They had the spare on the right this time, but there was, again, no composure when it came to that final piece. So their build-up play's been good, but that composure has cost them dearly. They've had some good chances, Greg, probably 4 good chances.
It's been clean and crisp and competitive and very little controversy. I suspect there won't be too much time added on for stoppage. So we've got 4 to play. Beautiful stuff. Thank you, George. Far post and off the line. In the end, the Melbourne Knights at the other end.
Jordan.
Was it Air Jordan? You're a good man to have in a clinch. Threatening again the Melbourne Knights. Up by 1. Chances at both ends. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's almost like a cheer squad down there. They all went and gave me claps. Said, well done, Trevor. It's beautiful. And it was well done too. Number 14. The skipper though, Hayden Bryce, short ball, patient, measured. And it's a bit of a chibi, but it's going to be a Melbourne Knights free kick. In the shadows, by the way, George, of the tree-lined end.
Notice, Greg. I did notice that. Thank you.
Beautiful human being. So Knights up by 1. We are inside the last, I'd say, 2.5 minutes of regulation in this first half. Round 3 of the NPL in Victoria, and the Melbourne Knights would like to make it 2 and make it hard for the home side after half time.
Duzel.
Very measured. Duzel launch into it low. It's skidded across the penalty area. Away by Saints. Melbourne Knights now applying the thumb screws again. Albano will sort of dance to the line. Matching steps was the defender.
Brad Murray.
Was Brad Murray? He was 1 step ahead, George. It's a very nice hat that you're wearing. I meant No, I'm just complimenting you on the hat. It's a lovely hat. I wish I had one. Albano.
You too can have one, Greg, if you donate to the corner flag for the Cancer Foundation.
I shall do just that. Could get a bit of a flogging as well. So it's a corner. Melbourne Knights up by 1, right on the edge of half-time here at St Albans. Far post, great reach by the big fellow. 1 minute of time added on, as we said, as we predicted. And St Albans, can they strike and lift before half-time? Not with that, they can't. And guess who? The skipper. Away. Giselle lofts it. It's going to sit for Albano, who bobs up on the right-hand side this time. And he runs the line. He gets a bobble off the defender. Albano was bowled then.
There was no shimmy, there was no shake. He just tried to Jonah Luma them, and didn't work.
Well, he had one sitting on his backside anyway, so he got some sort of an outcome. In the last 6... oh, it doesn't matter, they get bowled over. It's a collision sport, George Katsanis. It's a collision sport. Oh, much better when I'm not out there, though. Much better. And around the body, up and under, goes nowhere as the shutters come down on a really, really joyful, competitive first half of footy at St Albans this afternoon on FA coverage. Just a quick summary. Only goal of the game, Caleb Mikulik on 27, George.
Well, two contrasting styles, as we said, Greg. St Albans trying to get the long ball over the top, and they've worked some good stuff down the left-hand side and blown quite a few chances. They'd be disappointed. But the Knights, very composed, very slow build-up, methodical, and they're creating chances through that play. And their goal was pretty much from a turnover that St Albans made in their own half, but well taken. Great cross by Albano to Mikulic. Very exciting, end-to-end stuff. They're both having a good crack. I'm enjoying the game, Greg. I think everyone at home should be enjoying it too.
1-0, the Melbourne Knights lead it. Catch you after the break. the ladder. Melbourne ruled the nation in the day. Melbourne did never solid anything quite as lofty as that. It's a lovely rivalry. Macaulay into the area, just gets the nudge, goes to ground, he was unbalanced, no call. Fair enough.
Well, no penalty, Greg, no penalty.
As you would think under those sort of circumstances. Got unbalanced at the last moment. Anthony Desic was his opponent as they steamed into the penalty area. It's going to be shown for the Kings again from that. That's the reference. What would you do to the ground? Produce something from here to keep that run continuing. Change of direction from the big fellow, the skipper. Great loft into the path, deep left. Oh, he nearly made it, didn't he? Mohamed Samara in the number 16. He was a standout for much of that first half. Kangas will be happy he transferred away from Altona Magic this weekend because it was awful down there last night. Wet and horrible. He's got this beautiful afternoon to enjoy. Put a little bit of pressure on himself, did Air Jordan, but mini crisis averted for the time being. Rather sanguine start to this second half. Saw some electrifying passages before half time. St Albans, you would think, deserved to be on the scoreboard to some degree, but they're not, and that's the vagary of this great game. 6 minutes played, second half. And it's a goal. There's a corner, it is too. Did you get...
I've been to Specsavers, it's okay, Greg.
Don't start, I've got the eyesight of a 90-year-old, I think. Murray, he's good. Right footer is dangerous. Vitikangas flaps at it, loose ball, second effort. Was okay from Shane Vitikangas. He rifles the right footer through the afternoon, evening sky here in St Albans and go coast to coast, goalkeeper to goalkeeper. And a set that tree-lined end.
Western end, Greg. That's the western end.
Churchill Reserve on this lazy Sunday afternoon. You wouldn't want to be anywhere. Well, there's probably a couple of places, but it's been a terrific game. Lots on the line, really competitive, seen some really good footy. Nearly turned over, and the ankle of Alan Webb, I think he copped it. He's not particularly happy about it. Just a stinger, I hope. Gets to his feet gingerly. He's all right. Good stuff. So free kick to the Melbourne Knights from downtown as it's looking away. Webb's okay. It's going to be McGarry. Giselle tried to draw the free kick. Did Albano, nothing doing. Great call from the referee. I like referees. I've been getting to know a few of them in recent times. They're actually not bad people, to be honest.
Don't exaggerate, Greg.
Oh, dear. Still a 1-0 game. St Albans well in this. 12 minutes played, second half. But the longer that clock ticks on, the more pressure there is to grab an equaliser. Had their chances. Going to be a throw into St Albans on the social club side of the ground.
56 minutes.
Lofted away towards the half line. And a couple of players down behind play. So the referee's going to allow the trainers on. And McGuigan's okay, but I can't spot the Melbourne Knights player down. As they cluster around with a sea of concerned looks on their faces. To apologise for missing the start to the second half. In the two games last night, the Hume City getting home over Dandenong City, becoming only the third home team to win this year, believe it or not. Melbourne Knights at Knight Stadium in round one. Avondale in round one. Melbourne Knights at Knight Stadium round two. And then Hume last night. So from 20 games, only 3 home winners. And St Albans, if they're going to break that sort of run, need 1 to get back in the contest and 2 to grab a hold of it as we finally get a restart. Duzel slides it back to his goalkeeper. Good wrestle. Saints come up with it. A lot to like about Dinamo this afternoon, and there's another player down. Behind play this time. And it's a St Albans player. Hard to pick up.
McGuigan.
It is McGuigan. I don't know. I think we've got a bit of a Bermuda Triangle over in that far corner because every time you look away, somebody else drops.
It's those dark shadows you keep talking about, and everything's happening down there, Greg.
Well, I don't know about you. Did you see anything?
No, but there is a grassy knoll, so...
so we're talking conspiracy theory. It doesn't really matter to McGuigan. He's not looking all that well. A couple of Melbourne Knights players getting a well-earned drink. Early second half action. Melbourne Knights still up by a goal to nil.
While there is the lull, I was surprised that St Albans haven't really come at the intensity they did in this first 10 or so minutes as they did in the first half. They seem to be just plodding along at the moment, and they obviously need to make the play, being 1 goal behind at the moment. Surprisingly, that doesn't seem to have the intensity that they did in the first half, so they're going to have to lift it if they're going to get anything. Like you said, I know you're hanging on your big comeback, but your mates in blue are going to have to work a little bit harder, I think, if that's going to happen.
Well, interesting that it hasn't been a physical game as such. It's been hard, but it hasn't been physical. But now we're just getting players falling. I want to keep an eye on that far left-hand corner. As McGuigan is assisted toward the line. So he might be coming out for a quick rest. I'll be down to 10. Or are they going for the substitute down there? It looks as if the fourth official's telling us that there is a change in the wind here at St Albans. We are quarter of an hour into this second half, and McGuigan will check out, I think. We'll just wait for confirmation. They're down to 10 at the moment, St Albans. Melbourne Knights up by 1, and both numerically and on the scoreboard. Round 3 action. So Hume winning last night. Altona Magic and Heidelberg finished 2-2. That was a thumper down there at Paisley Park in the rain. And this tidies the afternoon. It was big game too at Avondale yesterday. Green Gully, stamp your mark on that. Melbourne Knights again. 5-6 clean passes to maintain possession. And 8, and they still haven't reached half field. Clavin round the corner ball. Oh, he didn't know much about it, Albano, but it popped into his range again. Angled header away by Chris Dibb. It's a bouncer launched high and long. Hoda, number 5 to number 5, and back to the goalkeeper again. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, George Katsanis. They're just the urgency that you might have expected from St Albans, and certainly the enterprise that we saw from Dynamo early in the game. Not as apparent. George Katsanis, who... Oh, you're all over this. Look at that. So we've got a substitution. Well played. So it is going to be McGuigan coming out. Mate Barisic is coming in the number 20. He revs the engine and heads toward central midfield. Did you get your half-time feed?
No, Greg, you still owe me.
And may well do. Another one of those lifetime debts. Knocked upfield. Melbourne Knights recover. Or do they know St Albans? Well, that was wasteful. Hoda. He looked up and then he whacked it out of play. So the Melbourne Knights are going to the bench as well.
Trevor Semakula. Trevor Semakula, number 17.
And Alan Webb's going to get a rest, I think. He looked knocked about a little bit earlier, did Alan Webb, so that'll be, I reckon, as precautionary. He's popular too. He's got some fans here. Semakula. Hopefully we've got that pronunciation right. A little pocket rocket in the number 17. He's got his own fan club. This is probably as deliberate and obvious a handball as you'll see all year.
Only used one hand though, Greg.
Why is it? I don't ever get that reference. I never ever get that reference.
You don't need to.
So Melbourne Knights just holding St Albans at arm's distance at the moment. You've got to think at some point they'll whip up a head of steam as Vitakangas launches it into the attacking half.
.64 minutes.
So we've played 19 in the second half, and St Albans Dynamo against their sister club, Croatian club here in Melbourne, haven't given as much of a squeak as we'd expected them to in the second half. Desic with the throw. That move way inside the attacking half, Social Club side. So it's into that Bermuda Triangle corner there, where players were hitting the deck a few minutes ago. And that one hooked square, but straight into the goalkeeper. And here's the first touch for the substitute, number 17, Semakula, toward the top of the penalty area. Dodges and weaves, and he had 1, 2, 3 to beat. He got past 2, couldn't get past Chrissy Dibb. And his fan club there. They're enjoying that. And again, gets another touch, this time short for teammate, turned away. So both substitutes getting in the action. Oops to Daisy, airy, and Melbourne Knights will get it back. So why do you get the feeling that St Albans, just the edge is off, isn't it?
Yeah, they certainly haven't got the intensity that they had in the first half. So disappointing, actually.
Tell you what, if I don't get my 5th comeback in a row, I'll be disappointed. The NPL in Victoria has been wonderful this year. Engaging, thrill-a-minute, roller coaster stuff. And scoreboard-wise, as the goalkeeper goes to ground, long bomb, and the referee's going to take it back downfield where he's going to point the accusatory finger, I think, at Adam Hodor and just point out the fact that crunching the goalkeeper after the play probably isn't the appropriate course of action.
Probably not, but while the Knights were in attack and the ball was in a 50-50 position right up here, why are we going all the way back, and why couldn't the ref wait to have a word to Hodor at the next stoppage, Greg? Just that one is a bit strange.
Well, we might go to... I've got a few mates in the refereeing ranks these days. I'll ask them, I think.
You keep telling me that.
I do. There's some nice ones. I thought never thought I could warm to a match official, but here we are. So second half well underway. The Melbourne Knights only hanging in. Well, they're not hanging in there, but on the scoreboard they are. There we go. The sub. Another round of applause. Albano this time pops up on the left. He's been busy today. Albano, he's been good today. Tried to ease it into the danger zone. St Albans away. Melbourne Knights lose about 20 metres, but hold the footy safely. Well, do they? Oh, turnover, big turnover. It might be dangerous. Macaulay, he's corralled. Macaulay did well to get out of trouble. He just sort of stumbled up over the footy. They'd look a little bit tired, St Albans. Hodor, he's going to go again. And ball out of play. Well, I don't know. Where's this game going? Melbourne Knights right now have got the 3 points and top of the ladder.
And Melbourne Knights are not looking to extend themselves either. They're just playing their measured, build-up, slow style and happy to do so. And they're not really getting threatened at the other end. And certainly under no real pressure at the back, are they?
So 65 and a bit away, and it's Melbourne Knights still by 1. Neat, measured ball that drops into the path of the substitute. The flag finally relieves the tension, the pressure, as we just waited the call. Because he was offside by the length of, I reckon, the Flemington Straight on Cup Day, wasn't he? We had to wait and wait. And the referee is calling it back. Much to the chagrin of Shane Vitakangas. He'll restart. Chrissy Dibb. As they go right, left, cross field. St Albans. And again, back to Vitakangas. He's outside his comfort zone. Chris Dibb. He's unsure. Back heel through half-field. That's a substitute. The big fellow Barisic that we called a moment ago. He's a big slab of a bloke. He goes to ground though, and it's going to be a free kick for St Albans Dynamo. It's starting to head toward that go time. If they're going to make a contest of this one, they'd want to nail it fairly shortly. This bloke nearly scored once or twice in the first half. Joey Monik.
25 minutes.
Beautiful. So into the last 20, and Monik toward that tree line end. Scoops it. Danger ball far post. And I reckon he's got a corner, has he? Or the Melbourne Knights player didn't get a touch to it. And the Knights are going to the bench again. Nikola Jurkovic, I think, might be the man to come on. Melbourne Knights, who've won the Victorian Championship, what, 4 times, 3 times? They won the National Championship twice. They won the National Premiership 4 times. Extraordinary club.
Magarioff and Jurkovic on, Greg.
George Kotsanis, who is joining us this afternoon for F3 coverage of this last game of round 3 of the competition. St Albans, well, their journey doesn't get any easier. They go to Bentley Greens next week. Melbourne Knights host Hume City. It's just a raft of really, really big games coming up in the NPL, which is great stuff. And the turn away from danger by the defender was timely. It's going to be a throw, St Albans. Indeed, deep left lane at the tree-lined end of this little stadium here in St Albans. And with a whimper and a stumble, the ball is out of play and Melbourne Knights will get it back. Crawley didn't look at all happy with his handiwork then. Well, Saints have, as we mentioned ad infinitum, they've threatened. You reckon they were well in the contest for a while, but right now the time window is closing on their fingertips as the Melbourne Knights look to launch it forward. He's been terrific, Albano. Loops the throw back, and it's all a matter of time now too. Glavant waits and waits and waits some more. Cribbed about half a yard, and then Albano tried to slip his defender. Chase to the line between Albano and Air Jordan. We'll call it a scoreless draw and the ball out of play. It's 1-0 Melbourne Knights. The only goal of the game, Caleb Mikulic on 27. I think we've been fairly blessed today. The sun is still keeping us lovely and warm on this autumn afternoon. Round 3 action in the NPL. Here in Victoria, George Katsanis. And yours truly, Greg Blake, or what's left of him, after a huge weekend. Melbourne Knights. The substitute, I tell you what, he's got a host of fans. Semakula, square ball. Chris Dibb had to do well. He was off balance. He just clipped it away. Now the Knights bring it again. Semakula's a substitute. And he rifles one towards that near post. Well done, Shane Vitakangas. Made it look easy in the end. The Melbourne Knights top of the ladder, if the scoreline stays this way, how good are they, or are we still doing that early season kind of shuffling of places? Well, let's just wait on that, because the St Albans Saints are back in the contest. An absolute monster from Darren McCauley. A withering right footer inside the post, away from the grasping hands of the goalkeeper. That was a beauty. That was a beauty, and it's 1-1. Here's the comeback. Beautifully
described, Greg. A goal from nothing, really. But once he got the ball at his feet, he had one thing on his mind, and technically correct, got the ball out from under his feet and let go with a bullet. And as you say, we now finally have our game on.
Absolutely from nothing, and it is game on, and that was as good a goal as you'll see this weekend. That was a beauty from Darren McCauley. He looked as if he was loading up, but you weren't quite sure, and he just let one. It was an absolute rip snorter. One each, frozen rope, and the goalkeeper was never going to get to it. And we're one each, and it's game on. So seatbelts on at home. Round 3 action ain't over till it's over. How are we doing time-wise?
15 minutes to go. Perfect.
Right, strap yourselves in. Get some. No, too late to get a snack if you're watching at home. Settle in and enjoy the ride home. Dynamo back in it against the Melbourne Knights, Melbourne, Croatia, the sister club. There's been a fair old struggle, and now you'd think, George Katsanis, that they would go hammer and tong to get the W, both sides now.
Yeah, I'm expecting the next 15 minutes to be more like a cup tie now, with both teams going for the 3 points.
And I'll tell you what, the fans are finding their voice on that far side especially. They are up and at 'em. Oh, I reckon the NPL in Victoria is fantastic this year. And 5 from 5, that's my fifth game in a row where we've seen a comeback. Thank you, Dynamo. Continues the run, the thrill ride. Melbourne Knights not to be done with. Oh, whoa! Well, that was that was good stuff, really, by Jordan Wilkes, because he was on the burst, wasn't he? The little number 17, the pocket rocket.
There's a little bit going on here, Greg. A bit going on behind play. Let me tell you, there's a bit of feeling now.
Ah, yes, the Coliseum. And the on button has been switched. Saints coming from behind, and here they come. There's the substitute.
Nathan Liberto.
Oh, and a great snatch from the goalkeeper.
Number 7, Nathan Liberto.
We've got a substitute happening, so the benches are getting emptied as well. Whoa, spinning out of the challenge was the substitute. Still, another player's gone to ground. Well, it's all happening. Can somebody keep an eye on everything? So we're going to the bench. We're inside the last 15. We've got scores locked up. We've got an expectant crowd. A ripping afternoon weather-wise. Call us through the substitution. George.
Nathan Liberto, number 7, coming on for St Albans.
Just wait if they're going to slip in the change before this throw-in is taken.
They're going to wait.
All in dispute, airborne. Melbourne Knights, they're feeling a little bit of pressure now. St Albans, with a bit of adrenaline building up ahead of steam. Where are they? Knocked down Phil Bazaric. And out of play. The benches are up, they're gesticulating, it's animated, it's getting loud down there. This little bloke, he's all right, he's firing them up, summer cooler. For probably the man of the match, Albano square ball, and it rocketed away across the penalty area. And out of play by Desi. Well, hasn't this gone up a notch in the last couple of minutes? A magnificent Darren McCauley strike to give Saints a lifeline, and now we're going right down to the wire. It's a barn burner here at St Albans, and with a whiz and a whack. Never looked like it did it from a distance.
No, it was always rising, that shot from Glover, and didn't get over it. But yeah, the intensity has risen, the crowd's interest. It was a bit of a Sunday picnic feeling there for about 15 minutes in the second half. But that goal has lifted the intensity and the interest, and the crowd are getting into this game now.
Well, the stakes aren't significant, but they're high enough. And that's a victory against a very, very close rival. 1-1 game. Melbourne Knights went ahead on 27, and the Equalizers come. It's down in that desk corner there as well.
Yellow ticket on Mark.
Oh, Andrew. Well, I was going to say Andrew Mark. He got a few in his time, didn't he?
Yeah, 1 or 2, Greg. Just 1 or 2.
Oh, this is a ripper now. This is a beauty. It's gone from an arm wrestle into a bit of a slugfest, and we've finally got that change.
Macaulay off, and Nathan Liberto coming on.
Well, Macaulay's done his job, hasn't he?
think he's reluctant to come off.
He's probably hot. He's saying, I'm hot, coach. Oh, dear. And he offers the crowd a round of applause. And we'll watch his goal back a couple of times over the next few days. It was a beauty.
He was a cracker. Absolutely sweetly hit.
So Laverde comes in at the business end of a close one here at Churchill Reserve this afternoon to end round 3 of the NPL here in Victoria. Into the hot spot. The ball just bobbles into the air. Anybody's guess. It's away by the Melbourne Knights. Hook over the shoulder is going to be met by Jordan Wilkes. That was never going to get called. Laverde's first touch isn't great. His second touch a little bit more assertive, and Knights will get the football back. Or it's a 1-1 game. It's a beauty now. Stib. Shane Vitakangas spirals it away. It really is. Oh, they're chasing each other with a purpose and a vengeance at the moment. Referee not happy with the challenge by Joey Monak. And he'll go in the book as well. Giselle. It's a 1-1 game.
83 minutes, Greg.
Oh, you're a little... I was just going for... 83 played. 3 points on the line in a 1-1 game. Giselle measures it. There's a battalion of players at the top of the penalty area. Giselle wants it to sit. It does. Header back. Oh, everywhere. Bobble. They're calling for a handball. And you're...
Offside.
Oh, that spoiled that, didn't it?
It certainly did.
Oh, dear. Well, hearts in mouths for a moment. Well, a derby between two very proud Croatian clubs here in Victoria has ended up being a thriller-diller, and it ain't over. Yet, even though I reckon about 5 to play, and again, there might be a little bit more time added on for stoppages. The up and under is met by Monak. His little legs were thrashing. He gets the throw in, tried to draw the free kick. The man on the edge of the penalty area, that was Laverde, was it, the substitute? He hit the deck.
I think he hit the deck before he got tackled.
Oh, I think he did. I'm riding that right there with you, but I didn't want to call it. But I couldn't agree more. So St Albans have come from behind. The scores are level. The tension is palpable here at St Albans now. And as you mentioned, the crowd have really come into it. They're very vocal at the moment. Deep into this round 3 clash. It's Churchill Reserve on a sunny afternoon, a Sunday. It's the NPL in Victoria at maximum revs at the moment. It's a bullet to the far post, glancing header.
Jordan Wilkes. That was a great opportunity, great ball in by Monak, and Jordan Wilkes just didn't get enough purchase on the header. It was a great opportunity.
My thanks again to you, George, George Katsanis, as we head toward the end of this one, for dropping in today and helping me out in a very significant way, mate. George Katsanis, you're a good man. Well, they're starting to drop a little bit prematurely. Stand up, play it out, boys. Shane Vitakangas is in no hurry to get the restart, is he? Down at that... Which end did you say?
That's the eastern end.
That's the eastern end. So Melbourne Knights will go to 7 points on the table after this one. Still in the picture for the top 6. But don't discount Dinamo right now. They are running on adrenaline. Laverde changed direction, and
Barisic.
that was an awkward-looking toe poke around the body. Just keep an eye on that fourth official too. It looks like there's another change coming up. And Vitikangas will get the restart again as the sun starts to settle toward the horizon. The shadows lengthen down the ground from that tree line then.
Felipe Sanchez, number 15, is the sub getting ready to come on for the Knights.
So the Melbourne Knights led it on 27. Caleb Mikulich with the opening goal of the games, but an absolute beauty from Darren McCauley, bringing St Albans level. And they're going to slip the substitution in. Hasn't been picked up by the refs yet, or has it?
Albano off.
Well, Albano, I tell you what, he's earned his dough, hasn't he, today?
He's been very good.
He
has been very good, Greg.
Yeah, magnificent. Albano has been instrumental in the Melbourne Knights. Well, taking the point, you can hear the Melbourne Knights fans below us. They're enjoying it. Long loft. Again, a challenge for the goalkeeper, which was well met by Manos. And Melbourne Knights, they're looking for a winner as well. And boom, crash hopper, and we've got another yellow card and another player down us.
Jordan Wilkes, your boy, with the yellow card, very late.
Well, he made the point though, didn't he? So, it's one each. There will be some time added on.
Nearly 88 minutes.
You've been exceptional with your timepiece today. Wow, what another stunning weekend. The NPL here in Victoria, honestly, at the moment, it is, I bet, a 15 horse, but there's only 14 teams in the comp, but as Melbourne Knights look for a winner, and a shot off the outside of the right boot, angles over the bar. That was
Sweetslost.
Ah, yes, Trevor. He's got mates down here, Trevor. Wow. Well, I've had a big weekend. So much for an old bloke. Football Victoria coverage, live and exclusive. Shane Vitikangas. He's got a couple of footies out there. Not sure which one he wants to use.
He's like a dog with two footies.
Keep an eye on it. I don't know what you're on about. I just laugh politely sometimes. Oh dear. Yeah, ball. Hooked over the shoulder. Brad Murray, your mate's son, yeah. Of course, as you mentioned earlier on. Some great names out there. A dangerous triangle away as Melbourne Knights manoeuvre it toward midfield. All in contention. St Albans are a little bit hungry right now, and the big turn through for the. Oh, that's going to come off the woodwork. Dear, oh dear, won't get closer than that. That was Monik. He's been there and thereabouts all afternoon.
What a great turn and ball in behind by Barisic, the sub. And Monak did slip it past the keeper, and it looked like he'd done enough from our angle, Greg. Very unfortunate to hit the post, and there was our late drama, but sadly no goal.
Well, again, just keep an eye on that fourth official for time added on. As we stay deadlocked at 1-1. Clearing header from Chris Dibb. It's really getting willing out there now.
6 minutes of extra time, Greg.
Okay, so 360 seconds. Hold on to your hats, good folks at home. The end of round 3 of the NPL in Victoria, and it's poised still. 6 minutes to victory for either the Knights as they go forward or St Albans. Held in check then was Glavin. Did really well, kept possession. Square ball up the middle lane. Samara, he's really good. And what's the call? And just for a moment, I had vision. We've got 3 players, or 2 players down now, cramping, I presume. Tell you what, this assistant referee's going to get a cramp if he keeps the flag up for much longer. He's been holding it for about 5 minutes. I wonder if he's been training. I always wondered what they train. Whether they lift heavier flags each.
I think they might work at the airport as well, Greg.
So that was an anti-climax as we head into these 6 minutes of time added on. St Albans have dragged themselves back into the game after half-time. Been a really good, spirited, willing contest. We've got a little bit physical too, a little bit angry in the second half. And the lob might find, it does find Monac, who's got no angle to work with, so he has to work it back. He's really come into it, hasn't he, the number 11. He tried to take on one and was outnumbered in the end. So Melbourne Knights get the possession back. Well, I'm not going to call it. Have we got a winner here? Do you reckon George Katsanis has been a hell of an afternoon?
Well, I think there's still a goal in this game, Greg.
Me too. I've just got that feeling. It's been that sort of a game. Monac deserves something, I reckon, on his left foot. Drills it. Great stop by the keeper. Arched his back. Double palm. Oh, now it's a thrill right down to the finish, and the referee's going to call it back again. Flag was up on that far side.
It looks like the keeper's gone out of the box with the clearance, Greg. Wow. The linesman's pulled that up.
Oh, wow, controversial call.
Here comes the late drama.
Well, I tell you what. Now, by my reckoning, we've played 3 and a bit of our time added on, and that, I tell you, that would be fractionally out of his area. It'd have to be, because it certainly wasn't obvious. What controversy here? It's a 1-1 game. We're deep into 6 minutes of stoppage time. And St Albans have the chance at home, in front of the home faithful, to win this on a late call.
And there's a chance for a hero here, isn't there?
Oh, what a moment this one is. What a moment this one is.
Nathan Liberto, he's shaping up to take a left footer.
Liberto on the ground, only a matter of moments for number 7. Rifles it. Oh, well done by the keeper. Still loose. Ball in. Oh, St Albans. They're in front, my jolly word. Dynamo with a come from behind. I could not tell you who scored. The goalkeeper did so terribly well with the free kick. He palmed it into the air. It doesn't matter, because St Albans... I got another... This has been a comeback for the ages. Boys, I'll tell you what, my heart can't take this. Wow, St Albans Dynamo in a second stirring half, or a stirring second half. George Katsanis, holy moly.
Well, in all of that, I'm not sure who scored either, Greg. I'm going to guess by the celebrations it might have been Hoddle, but the free kick from Nathan Liberto was an absolute belter. And the keeper pulled off a great save, but they were queuing up, the boys from St Albans, for the rebound. And if only we had a replay. Someone ring us and tell us who scored the bloody goal.
It's true. If we had the replay, that would be wonderful. Doesn't really matter. It's the scoreboard. The NPL in Victoria is on fire. Well, yet another come from behind weekend. Flags up. Play on. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So St Albans, Dynamo. In a stunning second half. Wow, boys. I'm not saying boys, you're the only one.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh, this is, well, if you're not here, you're somewhere else and you're missing out. What an afternoon, what a game, what a season. St Albans up by 2-1 against their big brother, their big sister, whatever you like. Oh. Oh. What a day. So it ain't over yet. We've still got, it'd have to be less than 60 seconds, surely to goodness. And St Albans might actually be the 4th club this year to actually snag a home win. Oh, the NPL in Victoria. What a comp we've got this year, George Katsanis. They're going to slow it down, aren't they, Dynamo? The home fans were having a party down here in front of us. And, and the final whistle. The final curtain comes down on another dramatic afternoon of NPL here in Victoria. Another stunning comeback. Just in summary, quickly, the Melbourne Knights led it at half-time. Caleb Mikulic, and what a second half from St Albans. Dynamo to wind up and beat their old rival by 2-1, George Katsanis.
It was a drama-filled end to the game there, Greg. Now, my message is the number 3 scored for St Albans. I hope that that's correct. But yes, so it looks like it could have been Chris Dibb, former Heidelberg player. But we were hoping for a bit of drama at the end, and we got more than enough. It's a cracking game. It took St Albans a little while to get going in the second half, but once they ramped it up, they really took it to the Knights, and it was a cracking game. And what a finish! What a finish!
Well, if you don't enjoy this sort of stuff, you don't enjoy life. FV coverage of round 3 completed here at St Albans this afternoon. A beautiful afternoon. The sun was shining. There will be smiles and laughter at the social club tonight. The Saints have come from behind. Final score: St Albans Dynamo 2, Melbourne Knights 1. Absolute beauty. Catch you later.